The recording is finished. What the hell does that mean?
Hey, I don't need that kind of editorial content from services we pay you for. That's finished. We haven't even started. Listen to me. It's as good as it's going to get right now. Less is more at this point.
There's apparently some fantastic AI in Zencaster going, I've listened to 180 of these. Trust me.
Yeah, it's finished.
Oh, levels.
Levels.
So I want to start off with some follow-up from I don't know, a year ago. Did you see California is now letting autonomous taxis operate 24/7 in the city of San Francisco?
I did see that story this week, yes.
I thought that sounds kind of cool. I have to go to San Francisco here at some point. I know, coming up here in my travel. I may give this a try.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Really? Are you still thinking they're not safe? I mean, is it going to take me down a one-way street and strand me at the end of it?
Well, I mean, given the whole, them clomping together and making a traffic jam and blocking
Yes.
emergency vehicles, I mean, they're probably not safe, but that's actually has nothing to do with why I wouldn't do that.
Oh, okay. Well, what did you read?
Well, there was also a story in the San Francisco Standard this week that apparently people are having sex in the robo-taxis.
Ooh. Oh. Okay. Oh, this is not ideal. Okay. I guess people are going to do what they're going to do. How big of a problem is this really?
Well, the article said that people were specifically hiring robo-taxis to drive around secluded locations just for this purpose.
Oh, but it's not I mean, we're not talking about, Uber rideshare or something. I'm not going to be in the taxi with them, right?
Okay, true, but let me ask you this. Would you sleep in a bed in a hotel that was rented by the hour?
Okay, yeah, valid point. Though I am just going to throw this out there. I would still take that hotel over the hotel that you stayed in Las Vegas.
Having been there, I will tell you this, that is the right choice. Ring that bell.
Hi, toddlers. Welcome to Talking to Todd, a weekly podcast with Dwayne Johnson and Todd Prinz, where failure and short songs, short themes at the beginning apparently are always an option. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Todd.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Not too bad. This is almost Talking to Todd After Dark. Not quite. I don't know if we got this, if we got the start of it in, we got the start of the half inning in before the top of the hour. It's close.
The lights are coming on, is what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah.
Talking to Todd after Twilight. Definitely after Twilight.
Yeah, that doesn't sound. No, but if we put Twilight in the title, we may get a whole bunch of fans. Not fans, listeners. People who tell us this has nothing to do with Twilight, the movie series. Doesn't matter. You listened.
Sparkling vampires. Trust me. Stick around. Listen all through the podcast. There will be some more sparkly vampire stories later. Trust us. We'll get there. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
But first, sports.
I spent the day in Iowa Falls today playing golf with Dad. I had a little bit of sports and then drove back here, and that's why we're recording so late. So, buckle up.
Excellent. I mean, good. Had an all day of golf. Yeah. And then I recorded Talking to Todd. Well, the golf offsets it. So he still had a good day.
I actually had a really good day today. Dad and I played 18 with Mick Reiber and Mr. Phipps. He's really anyway. And for the first nine,
They
and
call
then
me Mr. Phipps. Sorry. Popped
and
into my
then
head and I had to say it.
and then Dave McCauley for the second nine, Kathy's dad, who I hadn't seen in forever. And then when we were done with that, I worked a little bit in the afternoon, and then we went to this fundraiser gala at the country club to raise money for an art collection in Ellsworth Community College. And Aaron Finnegan Andrews, Aaron and Brad were there, but Don and Jan Rudy.
Oh, das ist gut.
Yeah, Gleich die Ecke. Chad and Kurt Gervich's dad, Dave Weldon's mom, sat with Dave Weldon's mom. I don't know. Anyway, it was like old home week. And John Baldwin did the art for the fundraiser. So I got to see John and catch up with John and Bev and Jeff and John's mom. I don't know. Anyway, had a really good night tonight. And now here I am doing this. So there's that. I mean, had a really good night tonight. It was good. It was a great day. It really was a great day.
Night's not over yet. All right, let's see how this goes.
Should we jump into feedback, follow up, and
Sure.
updates?
Yep.
You started out last week. We started out with sports last week,
We did. Yes.
and you apologized
I did. Yes. Preemptively. Yes.
from the other side. Well, this was weird. We listened sitting out on the screened-in porch. So rather than from the other side of the truck, but from the other side of the couch. Don't apologize for too much sports, says Amy. Don't apologize. Sports is good. It's what you guys do. I'm like, okay, I'll pass it along.
The problem with that is I feel like that's a challenge. I feel like we'll know when we hit the sweet spot when Amy says, okay, one, that's enough. And two, Todd needs to apologize. I stand corrected. You guys, I didn't think you could, and you did, and I don't like it. Speaking of that, America's Cup coverage probably is going to start up again in the next couple. No, not actually.
Are they doing pre-race warm-up kinds of
That's
things?
next year. That's
Oh,
that's
okay.
next year.
Okay.
The fact that I know that it's next year is sad in amongst itself, but I can look for America's Cup news. Let me see what I got. Continue.
I don't know. I'm feeling follow-up at the end. For some reason, I don't know why. Huh. Maybe maybe I should preemptively provide some America's Cup content. No, that won't help either, as we learned last week. I tried to be helpful, toddlers, and it still backfired on me. Jesus.
What are you doing? Yeah, no, I did this on purpose. Oh.
If you haven't figured this out yet, it's mostly for our own entertainment and to shock the other person into reacting badly. It worked. Oh, from toddler -18. One thing that hasn't actually been determined, and this may be a good question for Todd's Tech Corner, is brought to you by the Taylor Center for Technology Policy.
Okay.
How many WAPs would it take to reach peak WAP? Thank you, Sarah. Todd?
Look. I wrote that cold open and I had to write it 4 times because the first 3 were funny and we couldn't say them.
Well, we could. It would just be
just between you.
Over and over.
Including 2 of which had dad jokes that we couldn't say. And then this question comes along. Don't say it. Yeah. Because here's the thing. You see, because here's
the thing.
Your mileage will vary. Some people think that having 1 WAP in the bedroom is enough, but other people go for more. It's kind of based off of your preference.
Totally fair. You are in Utah.
Maybe.
Maybe. Maybe. Undisclosed.
The
Utah
the pro-
adjacent?
the problem is just the thing you got to worry about with
Yes.
the thing you have to worry about with the performance of your WAPs is the more that you have, the more you have to worry about interference. So
Accurate on so many levels.
start interfering with each other, and that's where you really get the problems.
I desperately think we need to move on.
Please,
Oh
because
my
that's
God.
all accurate.
The last week on the Educated Idiots, they made a long series of testicle jokes, which was followed by, oh my God, we're so juvenile. Go Nads. Oh, sweet Lord. My God. Other feedback. Oh, Toddler 401k
Yes,
gave us a thumbs up for last week's episode.
excellent. I
I'm not sure what that legally commits him to.
was going to say that's legally binding.
Yes, it is.
So excellent. Now all we have to do is go to Saskatchewan to collect.
Can I buy stock with a thumbs up? I don't think so.
Meanwhile, he says, "You just did."
Oh, apparently it works for Uber stock. Okay, let's see a little bit of follow up because I didn't have any corrections last week. Did you have any corrections?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Nope,
I didn't want to skip Lisa. Do you have any feedback from Lisa?
I did not. No.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see. Follow up. So sports is starting to fire up again here. The Premier League started. NFL preseason craptastic, whatever. That's all started. And I'm just going to get ahead of this. Sports writing. All the sports writers who've had to take time off because their season hasn't started. We're in for a really bad season of sports writing because I've already noticed some stuff that is not great. The After the first game, the first match in the Premier League, Friday afternoon, the very first game, and only one game happened. The Athletic ran a story said, "Why is there so much added time in the Premier League this season?" They were explaining why the rules are now going to be that they're going to add more and more stoppage time at the end to more accurately reflect the lack of actual playing time. But they ran this after the first match, and the first match had the standard normal amount of time. They basically were like, "I've written this thing 6 weeks ago, and as soon as this first game goes, I'm just gonna publish it." Yeah, there wasn't that. Why is there so much added time in the Premier League this season? The season is one game old and there isn't any. Anyway, that's cool. And I'm like, well, maybe that's, whatever. Saturday, ESPN has a picture on the front of it showing Bryce Young completes his first NFL pass to Adam Thielen for a first down. Okay, look, it's preseason. None of this counts except for the ticket price. The ticket price counts.
As season ticket holders, I can absolutely verify that. Yes.
And if you want to start getting pedantic, is this his first NFL pass? No, because his first NFL pass as an NFL player was probably in training camp. So he's already thrown lots of passes. This isn't a game. There is no stats. This doesn't count. So if you wanted to be accurate, Bryce Young completes first NFL pass against opponents not in game situation to Adam Thielen for a first down. We're going to need to tighten that up a little bit. Just
Thanks for the clarification. Appreciate you.
so what I've discovered is while the sports writers aren't in midseason form, I'm already in midseason outrage sports form. Oh, this is going to be a good fall. How about you? What do you have for follow up?
Facebook fed me this week an ad for video editing.
Really?
Do you have 12 hours of video from a tiny camera that you don't have time to edit?
Wait, what?
Let us, yeah, let us create something for you. It's like they're talking directly to us.
We have like 11 and a half hours of video
Yes.
from a tiny camera that we don't have time to. Oh my God. You know, I've always said I like that Mark Zuckerberg guy. I like the cut of his jib, and I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. And when the robots, namely Mark and his like, take over, I'm all for it.
I, for
That's
one, welcome
oddly
our.
specific. 12
Right.
hours
I
from
know,
a tiny
right?
camera. Oh dear. By the way, I've gone through this video. I've started going through the video. Just
Did you
the
find where we got lost yet?
well, I can't figure out which turn we missed. Other than we're on the track here and we're missed anyway. What I've
Sorry.
also on a lot of the video, where a lot of the video is just me standing at the top of a hill, drinking water, and then seeing you come up to the hill, and then I realize you're thinking, "Oh, this would be a good place to stop," and me getting on my bike and riding. And you're like, "Oh God."
Yeah, you got a nice rest at the top of all those hills.
Well, those
Meanwhile,
hills are a great place. Yeah, that's a great place to just kick back and relax a little bit.
boy, that was fun.
I should
We
do
should
that
do it
again.
again next year.
Yeah,
Let's see, where were we? Oh, Todd's Tech Corner. You've got a whole battery of things in here.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Okay, real clear. I'm just going to clear some of these things. Oh, it's Todd's Tech Corner, brought to you by Taylor Center for Technology Policy. For
Thank
all
you.
of your technology policy, the Taylor Center. I don't think that's their slogan, but if he wants to use it, they can. I don't.
He's paying for that about as much as he pays for the sponsorship.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
Jesus.
whatever. Quite a few things came over the tech transom today and this week, and there's no room in idiots. So I'm just throwing some stuff out here real quick. The EU has now passed a rule that this is going to get challenged. You know how we said that the EU kind of forced Apple to put USB-C on phones starting next year, and that's probably going to start happening this year?
Yeah.
That's great. That's awesome. Yeah. They've now passed a new rule that basically all phone makers are going to have to make user replaceable batteries in their phones, which almost no phone maker does anymore. Samsung, Google, I know Samsung. Anyway, all the big phone makers, they seal the battery inside the phone because everybody's like, oh, this would be really good because now you can do this and you can use what this will mean, just real clear, is in order to do this, phones will have to get bigger or thicker, or batteries will have to get smaller, and it will also probably affect the waterproofing of the phones.
Yep.
So you will be able to replace batteries. Maybe if Apple sues, whatever, I don't know, Europe only, whatever. In exchange for being able to replace your battery, your phone is going to get bigger, heavier, less of a battery, and it will become less waterproof. This is the part where, again, the EU got it right with the USB-C thing for now. But this is the problem when you get legislatures involved in designing products. There are trade-offs here, and this could be bad. So,
and they're just trying to be helpful, and yet,
yeah, we're gonna end up going back to those, the cell phones that were that looked like a full handset with the antenna on it. Those had removable batteries. Anyway.
Yes, they did. So did my Nokia 800, which I would take in a heartbeat.
Very hard to surf the web on that, though.
Okay, so side story. A friend of ours, have I told you this? A friend of ours needed a cell phone, and she is not tech savvy.
Okay.
At all.
So got her an Android. Oh, no, sorry.
Actually,
that was uncalled for.
I got her a Cricket flip phone because she just needs a phone. She doesn't really need to do anything. She needs to call people or not. And it's still got the old, it's a flip phone. It's got buttons, for the numbers. It doesn't have a keypad. So in order to text, it is smarter than the flip phones that we used to have. It does have some predictive texting.
Okay.
But what it did was remind me of a story about how when my mother was learning how to text, she would use the keypad. And if you asked her a question, she would respond with yes, except she would just type WDP and send. And we were supposed to figure out that WDP meant YES,
You know,
which we did
yeah.
because it's mom.
Yeah, that's kind of like that's almost like Sandy's Enigma machine.
Yes,
It's encoded.
whether you want
It's
it to
encrypted.
be or not.
It's encrypted. You figure it out.
Yeah. Anyway, so we got her this flip phone, which you could remove the battery on.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
that will be allowed in the EU starting in
exactly.
2027.
Yeah, and it charges with USB-C. So it was a fully compliant EU phone.
So so actually you got her the most technologically advanced EU phone because that one's from 2028.
Yes,
Here's a phone from the future. I don't think
I don't
just
think so.
wait for it. You know what? Let's see. Does anybody from the No, we're not supposed to do that. Okay.
Nope, nope, it's not funny.
Yeah.
Okay, what
Couple of
else you
other
got?
things. Yeah, a
Yeah,
couple of other things in
sorry.
Todd's Tech Corner. Let's see. Oh, Dell. I don't know how many people have bought a Dell recently. Dell got fined $6.5 million because on their webpage, when you went to buy a Dell, they were offering you a quote unquote deal on a monitor that you could buy, and they would put a price on it and slash it through and put another price that would be lower than the slash through price. So if you bought it now, you'd save money. Turns out what they were doing was the slash through price was that wasn't the price of the monitor on the website. They just put a random higher price up there to then offer you a different price. And in many cases, the quote unquote discounted price was higher than the retail price on the website if you just went to look for the
That
monitor.
monitor.
Yes. So they lied about the slash through price, jacked the price up, and then told you it was a one time only offer. Admittedly, it may have only been a one time only offer because the only way you're going to get the jacked up price is to buy it right now. Anyway, so they got caught and now they've been fined $6.5 million. Yeah. And then speaking of tech companies doing bad things, HP is getting sued. So if you buy an HP all-in-one where it's a printer, a scanner, and a fax machine, multiple people have joined a class action lawsuit. Apparently, if you have an HP all-in-one and you try to scan, if you don't have a full ink cartridge, it
Yeah,
will tell you cannot scan. If you try to fax something and it doesn't have a full ink cartridge, it will tell you that there is an error, and the only way to clear the error is to go buy more ink. Now, this sounds terrible. Canon also was doing this. They were sued for doing the exact same thing. That one was settled out of court before it could become a class action lawsuit. However, this one might be moving forward because the all-in-one where they advertise you can scan anywhere, they've now taken all of that down because apparently if you don't buy ink for your scanner, it doesn't work.
welcome to the new digital age where we have to print. That new paperless society that we're all trying to get to.
The
Yes,
paperless society absolutely requires ink. You don't need
clearly.
to use the ink, you just need to buy the ink. Look, don't print. Don't print. We don't care.
We don't care.
But you have to buy the ink. And printer ink from HP and others, if you look at how much is in the cartridge versus how much it's worth, it is worth significantly more than gold.
Oh yeah.
Like way more than gold, Jerry. So anyway, if you have an HP printer and your scanner isn't working, just go drop a couple $100 on ink and see if that. Don't do that. Just throw it away and go get a new one. it's terrible for the environment, but this is the game they want us to play. Anyway, there you go. There's Todd's Tech Corner, where pretty much everything is not great right now. Yeah.
You know where everything is great?
Where?
It's not fair to deny me all the cross-eyed that I check into me. You ought to know.
I don't think that means what you think it means.
This should be pretty quick. This stat hit my. This is sports, so I
Okay.
apologize to Lisa.
Now I just
Amy,
have to
you're
remember
welcome.
everything I've read in The Athletic in the last week.
Giancarlo Stanton leads the Marlins in total home runs over the last seven seasons.
Wait, what?
Giancarlo Stanton leads the Marlins in total home runs over the last 7 seasons. Question number 1. How many home runs has Giancarlo Stanton hit for the Marlins over the last 7 seasons?
Oh, I see what you're doing here, because I thought the first question was going to be, which team does Giancarlo Stanton play for?
No. Yeah, that's not the question.
No, because that's a good question that I'm assuming we're going to get to. Okay, so how many home runs has Giancarlo Stanton, famous Marlin, hit for the Marlins in the last 7 seasons? I will say 83.
No, I'm not going to be able to give you a bell there because the answer to that question is 59.
Okay. All right.
During that span,
Yes.
how many seasons has Giancarlo Stanton played for the Marlins? Current New York Yankee Giancarlo Stanton.
I believe the answer is 2.
The answer is 1. 1 season over the past 7 years, and he is still the home run leader for the Marlins. 2 is, you know what? 2 is close enough to 1. Why not? You're welcome.
I
Stopped him.
No, I was just thinking, I read a story this week in The Athletic that the former owner of the Marlins is talking about how Derek Jeter, as owner of the Marlins and president or whatever, destroyed the club. And the thing that he said really was the thing that really pushed him over the edge was, remember that really weird looking sculpture they had that anytime a Marlin in their new, when they hit a home run, like dolphins, like it was,
saw that. Yeah. Uh-huh.
They took that out of the outfield and put it outside the stadium. And that's what the owner's pissed about. The former owner is, he ruined the stadium because he moved the artwork. And I'm thinking, that's your problem? That's your problem. Your home run leader for the last 7 years hasn't played for you for 6 years, and he's still your home run leader, and you've got a problem with where the artwork is situated. Okay. I'm actually just trying to draw attention away from me onto the owner. That's, I mean, if we're being really clear, I don't really care. I'm not that worked up by it, but I was trying to get everybody on my side to be mad at the owner and forget that I screwed this thing up. Just projecting. Distracting. Prestige.
Illusion. It look over there.
Look over
there. This could have just as easily gone under idiots, but I'm like, yeah, this could be Todd Guess a Number or Todd Ought to Know or whatever the hell we call this segment. Anyway, what's next?
Oh, hey, I think we're on to the Scott Frost Memorial Idiot of the Week. Speaking of idiots.
Speaking of idiots, there we go. Okay,
so I think this one came out today. Coach Deion Sanders, Prime, is very upset. He got very upset at practice with his team. He is trying to focus them on being disciplined and not having penalties. And there was, I believe, within the last day or two, there was a couple of players started to get into a fight in practice, and he was irate and yelled at his team. for not fighting more. So what he got mad at was he started yelling at his team because when a couple of players started fighting, other players walked away from it so they wouldn't get involved, and he yelled at them about how that's your brother out there and we do things together. And his comment was, he yelled as he yelled at the team, if one of us fights, we all fight. Now my comment would, now you're on scholarship, I get that, so you can't do this, but I would be, coach, question, yeah, where were you? Because you said we, and I didn't see you in there throwing haymakers. So I'm just, and you know what his answer would be? Oh, prime don't hit.
Yeah, Prime, no.
No. Prime don't hit.
Nope.
You ever see me play defense? I don't hit. I don't tackle.
I was all over it. Nobody was coming near the ball, but I know.
No. Prime don't hit. So anyway, this is good. Remember, these are student athletes who are there to get an education first and then make coaches and athletic directors in schools millions and millions of dollars. And they're also supposed to not get penalties. However, if a fight occurs, he wants everybody on the team to join in on the fight. They can't flag all of us. Yeah, actually they can.
Well.
They can. Anyway, so discipline is going super well at Colorado.
Welcome back to the Big 12.
Jeez. How about you? What do you got?
I brought two options for you to choose from.
Yeah.
Option number one, hey-o. And option number
I'm a little concerned about that one.
Not liking that? Okay. Option number two, that's a mouthful.
Okay, audience, toddlers, I'm going to be clear. Here's the feedback I get. No matter, when you give me the option, no matter which one I pick, I always pick wrong. I'm informed of that constantly. I pick the wrong one. That said, what I see here is, when Admiral Akbar yells, "It's a trap."
Yes.
I have two paths to move forward on. And both of them, Admiral Akbar is saying, "Come my way, boy. Come my way. It's a trap." I will.
Cow barn, yes. Horse barn, sheep barn, pig barn.
It's all the same. Pick. Yeah. It's all going to end up in the same place, but I will take that's a mouthful.
So last night we had our preseason gathering for Football Friday Night, because when I'm not doing this and I'm not doing anything else, I'm on the radio for KXNO, right? I'm Dwayne, not the Rock Johnson, for KXNO's Football Friday Night. And year number one, we were powered by Body Armor Sports Drink.
Okay.
And year number two, we were powered by Jethro's Barbecue. And apparently before I joined the crew, we were for several years powered by Jethro's Barbecue. And that's always our lockout. From Norwalk, this is Dwayne, not the Rock Johnson, for Football Friday Night, powered by Jethro's Barbecue. And it goes back to the station, right?
Okay, makes sense.
This year, God love him, Joe has been out selling ads and selling sponsorships.
Yeah.
To be clear, the idiot here is me, because I'm going to be saying this mouthful over and over and over.
Yes.
From Norwalk, this is Dwayne, not the Rock Johnson, for Football Friday Night, powered by Jethro's Barbecue and presented by DeArmond Ford Indianola and DeArmond Automotive in Knoxville. Oh my Lord, what a
It could be slightly worse. Can you give it to me one more time?
Football Friday Night, powered by Jethro's Barbecue. I appreciate the opportunity to practice here before I have to do this live on the radio, for the record.
Yeah, where the paycheck actually comes into play. Yes, go ahead.
Right, and to be clear and fair to Joe, if it weren't for the sponsors, I wouldn't be getting paid. So there's that.
That's what this is for, yes.
Yes. Sorry. So Football Friday Night, powered by Jethro's Barbecue and presented by DeArmond Ford Indianola and DeArmond Automotive in Knoxville.
Okay. All right. So when Lindsay and I had our season tickets at Real Salt Lake, they had a lot of sponsors, and it was odd. They had an official banking sponsor of Real Salt Lake and an official credit union of Real Salt Lake. So some
Really?
things were sponsored by a bank and some things were sponsored by a credit union. And if those things happened together, it almost sounded together. And at one point, Lindsay and I basically got to the point of, this corner is brought to you by Zions Bank. Zions Bank, the official bank of Real Salt Lake. The official bank of Real Salt Lake sponsorship was brought to you by Mountain America Credit Union. Mountain America Credit Union, the official sponsor of the official bank sponsorship reads for Real Salt Lake. Those sponsorship reads were brought to you by Ken Garff Ford. Ken Garff Ford for all of your sponsorship needs. That's what I'm saying is, like, you still have time to tweak this a little bit. I think what you need to do then is, instead of saying and presented by the dealer, you need to say, so this is brought to you by the barbecue. That barbecue read was brought to you by and then our official what did you say, Ford dealer? What dealer?
Yes. Yes.
Our official Ford dealer is brought to you. Our official Ford dealer announcement is brought to you by our other official Ford dealer who sponsors our Ford dealer reads.
It's gonna
You
be
want to
a
run that
time.
past somebody. You want to run that past somebody before you just start freelancing.
Yeah, I
that
may
stuff.
need to go check with the iHeart people before I start fiddling with the copy.
Yeah, good idea.
Nice.
The guy from Norwalk's got some ideas. Oh God,
Great.
jeez.
I do have one quick feel good palate cleanser.
Okay.
I got to go grab something off the fridge. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Alrighty.
Pause. So one of the Flinnies down at Amy's office was doing, their kid was doing a fundraiser. And they were selling a 6-pack of cupcakes.
Okay.
As a fundraiser for, I don't know what it was. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I mean, frankly, it doesn't matter. But Amy bought a 6-pack of cupcakes. They were delivered to the house. And the kid wrote us a thank you note.
Wow. Thank you.
It does meet the definition. It is a scrap of paper ripped on 3 sides with 2 words on it. It does meet the literal definition of a thank you note. He's 8. We'll take it, I guess.
Yeah. No, you know what? You do what you can do, right? You do what you can do, and that, you know what? Good for him.
Yep. But it was cute, and I've got it tacked to the side of the fridge as the thank you note for the cupcakes, and it makes me chuckle because it's absolutely awesome. Oh, you watch anything good this week?
A couple things. We went and saw Barbie. So
You did?
Yes.
Is that the second movie you've seen this year?
Second movie we've seen this summer. Yes.
Are you feeling okay?
Oh, I'm just. I will say, so we've seen these two movies fairly soon after each other. There are things when you go to the movie that you appreciate about going to the movie. What it also does, however, is it makes you appreciate not going to the movies, including, and this might just be our theater. We don't love our theaters. They're not great. They're fine, but not great. They're doing this cool thing of the trailers start. Okay, cool. Hey, we get to watch the trailers, which, by the way, the trailers are ads. They're just ads, but they're trailers. Oh, let's see what we can go to. Fine. They are now interspersing actual ads between the trailers. So you get a trailer, And then you get a guy selling you insurance. You're gonna die one day. Gonna need some what? And then you got another one. And then they start doing this thing with you, which is they start rolling the, hey, we need you to turn off your cell phones, be quiet. You're like, oh, thank goodness. Nope, that was an ad. Trailer. Oh my God. So you are told between 3 or 4 trailers to silence your phones and go get your Coke and whatever. And then you're like, trailer. Anyway, this is nuts. Hate it. Hate the people who walked in and had something, but I don't know. Look, if you have a conversation that's going to last for 2 straight hours, why do you go into a movie to continue the conversation? Anyway, that all said, Barbie, fun movie, enjoyed it a lot. Both Lisa and I didn't know what to expect. It weren't sure what to expect and walked away saying, I had no idea what to expect, and that still surprised me. I was ready to be surprised, and yet didn't see that coming.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And I will say this. I also walked out of the theater saying, and I get that this is a little different. I walked out of the theater and I couldn't remember didn't try very hard. Walked out of the theater and I told Lisa, it's actually nice to go to a movie that is not a superhero movie or a big budget, the Tom Cruise vehicle. Like, this was a really good, unique story that I didn't know what was going to happen because it was unique. It was interesting. It told a different story from a different perspective. You had no idea what was going to happen. And it's like, most of the movies we go to, what's going to happen. I mean, you don't know how it's going to happen. Are they going to find the thing? They're going to find the thing. Are they going to defeat the bad guy? They're probably going to defeat the bad guy. Is James Bond going to die? Probably not. Hold on.
Wait.
Anyway.
Spoiler alert.
But highly recommend. I can see why it's made $1 billion. It's a good time. And I also can see why there is at least a group of people in the United States that are incredibly, incredibly pissed that piece of art exists. Yes, I understand that. Because it's what makes the movie good. Anyway,
Do I need to go see this in the theater, or can I wait till it hits my screen?
Oh, I think you can wait till it hits your screen. The only reason to go see it in the theater is just to go see it now while it's a thing.
It's going to be 102 here on Wednesday of next week. Maybe I'll go then. That might be a good thing to do.
I guess that's what I'm getting at is this isn't a movie you have to see in a theater, and going to see it in a theater makes theater feel better because you didn't have to see it. If that makes any sense at all. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. The other things, we finished up the current season of Queer Eye. We jump back into that.
Okay.
If you're having a bad day, a bad week, whatever, and you just need something that's like, I just need something uplifting. I need something I just need to feel good about something. I will say this, you just go into Netflix and you watch Queer Eye and you can't help but feel like that's it's just a positive, uplifting show especially if you need a positive, uplifting show. And then the season 2 of James May's Oh Cook dropped on Amazon Prime, and we watched all of it. It's a guy from Top Gear doing a cooking show. Not bad. Actually, a lot of the stuff is like, oh yeah, that looks pretty good. So anyway, that's there. We watched it. Would I recommend it? It's not bad. James May's not for everybody. So yes. Anyway, I'll leave it there. How about you?
Amy's been going through the back catalog of the Grand Tour. I can attest. James May is not for everybody.
Interesting note, as we're watching this, Lisa has said when we first started watching Top Gear, James May was her least favorite person on Top Gear. And now through Top Gear into Grand Tour and into the other things, I think James may actually be whether he's the favorite or he's the one easiest to tolerate.
Tomato, tomato.
Yeah, hard to say.
Sure.
How about you?
We also watched your recommendation from last week, the 80s theme song quiz.
Yes.
Oh, Knots Landing. No, no. Oh, maybe that's Knots Landing. No, no, no. No, that's Knots Landing. No. Damn it. For the record, Falcon Crest Dynasty and Knots Landing all sound exactly the same to me. Dallas was the only one of those that I could actually pick out.
The one that I guessed twice for real, and then after that, if I didn't know, just became my default answer because that's funny. Riptide,
Which was none of them, was it?
which never appeared ever. One of the ones I did not get, I think this was in the second, it must have been in the volume 2 of the ones that we watched, that I didn't get at all. I was like, I have no idea. I've never seen this show. Wings.
What?
Turns out I know Wings. I watched Wings.
Yeah.
If you said, Todd, I'll pay. I just heard the theme last week. If you said, Todd, there's $10,000 on the line to get 3 notes of Wings right, I couldn't do it. Gone. It was gone. I listened to it, went, Wings, gone. Anyway, I don't.
And Margaret. I've
I've
played this game before.
I know that's one of the answers.
The answer to one of these
Riptide.
questions is Riptide. So that's what I got. This week, I learned some stuff. Did you learn anything?
I did.
Okay.
So this week, I believe it's the 18th of August, is the 25th anniversary of when the original iMac shipped. Now, it was introduced in May, so there was a bunch of things. The 25th anniversary of Steve Jobs introducing the iMac was back in May, but now in all the tech stuff, this week, 25th anniversary of it shipping and people getting it in their hands. And in the history of Apple, I mean, Apple almost in the 90s, Apple almost went bankrupt. They were within 90 days of running out of money. Steve comes back. They introduced the iMac. The iMac is a huge success, which gives them enough money to make the iPod. The iPod then is a huge success, which gives them enough money to make the iPhone, which then gives them enough money to buy out God. So all of this kind of goes back. Without the iMac, there's probably, you could make a very strong case. Without the iMac, there's no iPod. Without the iPod, there absolutely is no iPhone. So huge thing. It's that translucent one in the colors. Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I absolutely know, but for our listeners,
Yes.
if you could, please describe which Macintosh computer the iMac was that revolutionized, because I absolutely know
Yes,
which
you know.
model we're talking about, but perhaps our listeners do not. If you could, please.
You know what? I'll handle this.
In 50 words or less?
Yes.
Okay.
So
You're welcome, Lisa.
it had like the CRT screen in the front.
Yes.
And then it had that curved body and it was translucent and came in colors.
The blue, the orange, the green.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Which they
Yes,
started
that
running the
one.
ads, the
Yep.
one of many colors, and had the handle on top, even though it was super heavy. And if you carried it by the handle, because it had a CRT and not a flat screen, the handle was in the back and the monitor was in the front. So it dipped.
Mike?
Don't do that.
Yep.
Yes.
No. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
that
it
one.
made
Okay.
that one. And it had a huge deal because it also got rid of the floppy drive and it got rid of all the old ports. And it had the only thing it had was a USB port. And at that point, everybody said, this is funny. It had a USB-A port, and everybody said Apple has jumped the shark because they've gotten rid of the serial port, the parallel port. They're going with this newfangled technology called the USB port that will never take off because it's this Apple thing that they're doing. Anyway, that worked out. So, yes, so it's the one in all the colors. Came out 25 years ago. Here's, however, what I learned. I tell you that story so I can tell you this.
Yeah, I thought we were in Tech Corner for a second. I got lost there. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
what? Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
When that was introduced 25 years ago, the Mac was 14 years old when that got, because the original Mac
The
was
512.
the
The
128, the
64.
original,
Oh, the
the original
128
Mac.
original. Okay, yeah. Okay.
That was 14 years old. It seems like an eternity because there was the Macs, all the Macs, and the company almost went bankrupt, and then this thing comes out. That was only 14 years. As of today, the iPhone has been out 16 years.
Wow.
Wait, what?
That'll
Like,
put it in perspective. Holy cow.
and the iPhone pretty much still looks the same. like the Mac was created, had this huge thing, almost died, and was resurrected 14 years. iPhone been around for 16 years at this point, and it's still basically the round rectangle that you're holding up there. Yes.
Here's my 5. Here's my 14.
Anyway,
I keep
that's
it.
when
I keep my 5 on my desk for the record. I keep my 5 on my desk to be able to throw across the room when I'm frustrated and not throw my 14. I can throw my 5 and I'm not worried about it. I may even have a 4 in a closet somewhere. You probably still have every iPhone you've ever owned.
no.
Oh, no. Oh, you traded
No.
them all in? Do you have the
Yeah,
first one? Tell me you still have the first one.
No, I don't. We got the first one. I got that 2 months after it came out, 6 weeks after it came out. Got it in Chicago. Matter of fact, we were outside having pizza, and Lisa gave me the iPhone. Sold that on eBay to pay for the iPhone 3G. Because at that point, the phones are still pretty expensive. And Lisa's comment was, if you want to upgrade, we got to sell this. So I believe we sold it to somebody in Turkey. Of my collection,
Mm-hmm.
I have an original Mac. I have the first Mac. I have the first iPod. I have the first iPad. I have the first Apple TV and the first Apple Watch. But I don't have an original iPhone. And apparently I may not have one of the original Vision Pros, but that's still being debated. No, it's not being debated.
Oh, it's not.
I will totally not have one of those. So yes, the iPhone is the only sort of the original Apple product line that I don't have, and they're a little pricey to get a hold of right now. So that's cool. Yeah. So anyway, there you go. That's what I learned this week. Tech history and the way math and history works. How about you? What'd you learn?
So we went to the state fair on Saturday.
Awesome.
Lucas brought home 7 friends, Hannah and 6 others. None of whom, Lucas has been to the state fair before, but none of the rest of them had ever been to the Iowa State Fair because they're all Illinois kids, or one of them's from Burlington. Anyway, we all went to the Iowa State Fair, and there were, as often happens at the Iowa State Fair, there were presidential candidates around, right?
Oh, I heard. I think I heard something about that. Yeah.
So at one point, the kids decided to go to the Midway, and Amy and I, we're old, we're going to go to the Varied Industries building because that's what we do. It's time to talk to people about hot tubs and solar and coating the garage floor, things like that, replacing your bathtub, Varied Industries building stuff. So anyway, they go to the right, we go to the left, we're walking down the concourse, and all of a sudden there is this massive being a relative term, 35 or 40 people wearing Ron DeSantis shirts and holding Ron DeSantis signs. And Amy says, hey, I'm like, what? We should. And I'm like, oh, look, there. 8 feet to my left is Ron DeSantis. And we both agreed, immediately that we needed to get out of there because we might be caught on camera and someone might mistake us for Ron DeSantis supporters.
Oh, you know what? You didn't need to worry about that. He doesn't have any supporters. Sorry.
So we left there immediately and went over to the bathroom behind the administration building because those are the best bathrooms on the state fairgrounds. And as we were leaving the state fairgrounds was the Register soapbox. At the Register soapbox was Marianne Williamson,
Okay.
who is a different kind of crazy than Ron DeSantis.
I believe that's actually her campaign slogan, a different kind of crazy.
but none of that is what I learned this week. When
I told you that story to tell you this.
I did. This is all just preamble
Okay.
to what we actually learned.
Yes.
We were hungry. So this is before the DeSantis episode. We were hungry, and Amy and I wanted to go get a pork chop on a stick. Have you ever had a pork chop on a stick at the Iowa State Fair?
I have not.
I mean, it's a pork chop, but they just kind of leave the bone in. So you hold on to the bone and you eat the pork chop. Pork chop on a stick. Absolutely one of our must-do things at the state fair. So we were going to go over and get a pork chop on a stick. We walked over there, and there is this big, huge crowd. And then, but they weren't in line at the pork chop tent. They were there. Here, I'll send you a picture.
Okay, that's a long line.
Yep. Big crowd was there to wave at the limos pulling away from the state fairgrounds.
Oh, I thought that was the line for the good bathrooms. Okay, sorry.
Nope. They're all waving at the limos. Your favorite president and his, Donald Trump, pulling away from the state fairgrounds right there. And this crowd has their backs to the pork chop on a stick line, which we were in. We were in the pork chop on a stick line, to be clear. We get to the front of the pork chop on a stick line, and I'm ready to pay for our 3 pork chops. And she says, no, you're good, and marks down our 3 pork chops. And we go on our merry way, eating our pork chops. And the next morning, I start reading through the timeline of who was at the fair and who left and who did what and whatever. I have come to the conclusion that Donald Trump bought our lunch on Saturday. I can't say I never got anything from him because apparently I got 3 pork chops.
You know what? We're not even play the bell. We're not even play the thing. We're almost done. We're almost
Do
done.
I need to play the other theme?
Nope. No, because this is not political. This is factually what I'm going to say. This is. I know that you're kind of worried about this. You think, oh, maybe I put one over on him or whatever. But here's the thing. That there is no way that Donald Trump paid for your pork chops because he doesn't pay for anything. Right, Rudy?
The music is Happy Boy by Kevin MacLeod. You can subscribe to our award-winning podcast with visiting scholar Todd Prinz wherever you get your pods. Just search Talkin' and the number 2. No G, no space. You can X us on Facebook. Can't tweet us anymore, but you can X us on Facebook, apparently. I think that's how that works. You can always check out our award-winning merch on Zazzle. You can stop by and see us at the Tuba City home office. Please don't do that. Thanks to our listeners. Thanks to our sponsors. We appreciate all of you, especially Toddler3187, the Taylor Center for Technology Policy, and DJ to Go Cedar Valley, your 5-star DJ in the Cedar Valley, and their food truck, hopefully coming to a city near you very, very soon. As always, you can send us your feedback. We love your feedback. Send it to feedback@talkingtotodd.com. I'm going to take a drink of my bourbon. Todd?
Okay, 3 things real quick. Number 1, You know, I'm starting to think we need to do these. We need to do these more at night. Like I don't know. They're different when we do these at night. Number two, I do have America's Cup follow up that I did look up, but I'm going to hold it because that was funny. But I'm going to hold it because we got time to cover it. Number three, I don't think the whole thing about the 14 years and the 16 years completely landed. So I'm going to give you a completely different one because it's been so many years since this happened and so many years since then. This is what I'm going to blow your mind with. Just real quick. I did math. I verified this. If you take the year that we were born, okay,
Yes.
it has been twice as long from that year forward till now. That's twice as long as from the end of World War II until we were born.
Damn, we're old.
Yes. Yes. Very old. Because when we were young, World War II was a long time ago.
Ages and ages and ages ago.
When we were born, that was only 26 years after World War II. It's been 52 years since then. Well, you know what? It's late. Let's go to bed. Sleep on that. I'm sure you're going to have some good dreams.
No, I won't because I'm old. I'll have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to the bathroom.
Keep hitting the bourbon that way. It'll be 4 times.
Oh, it's been great. We'll be back next week. Join us again. We're here. We're talking to Todd.
Who says we're old? We talked about flip phones, inkjet printers, and World War II. I mean, come on. If that doesn't say hip with the kids, I don't know what does.
The Idiot Toddlers, Doug from the Idiot Toddlers, can come on and update us on what's bricking with the kids. Joke for one person.
You know what? Better than most of our jokes.